from there we can prioritize our people. And by the way, for anybody out there, if some black guy is telling you what a white person is or what an American is, or this is what you need to do, you need to have more kids, or you need to focus on stop making your men such pussies, stop making your women whores. Don't accept a non-white person telling you fucking anything. They shouldn't even be here. They're lucky that they're even within our nation's borders speaking the language that your ancestors created. So this is an intra-racial problem that we will figure out once we start with the fundamental issue, and that is total securing the interest of our people first. And then from there, the problem is so easy, Lewis. You get rid of all of these people. You get rid of the foreign occupation. You incentivize. You can do what you can create interest-free housing loans for people that are getting married and having children in their 20s. Super easy. The birth rate will go way up. And you'll bolster high trust in society, which will bolster the relationship between men and women. It restores natural order. You have a hierarchy. You have a man at the top. You don't have all this bureaucracy and corruption causing distrust within.
What they do. It's your boy Luck, man. I'm back again tapping in. And today, we got some Wignat slop. Brought to you by the creators down at Frojax. Now, I want to debate these two guys. I watched them several times grab random black people from the Monkey app or other little third-party communication apps that people go to when they're drunk, and they try to make a spectacle of them. So I would cook both of these white guys separately, but they need to be together. They got one brain cell together. So I want to deal with them together. Pause. These guys are not very smart. Their oversimplifications for all of their explanations show just how high their IQ is. They don't have any deep thought. This is just shock jock wignack bullshit.
Institutions, things have to be ordered from the top to the bottom. And I think that it really all starts there. So again, I mean, not to go off on like a tangent there, but really, I go on Instagram all the time, and some fucking black guy is like, well, actually, Italians, they weren't considered white. It's like, bro, you're black. Shut up. Like, this is not your issue. And also, if a Italian man was being racist to you, you would just call that white supremacy. So shut the fuck up. That's kind of my response to that.
When prison riots break out, it's not black people going after Italians and Frenchmen. It's fucking black people
going after white
people, and then like other groups in the middle, like or Hispanics or whatever. Yeah. And then with the women thing,
so their takes are about as developed as a preemie baby, right? Their shit is not even half baked. They speak in talking point, right? Black guys shouldn't tell you how to get your women in check. Like, what are you even talking about, bro? You guys spend too much time online listening to other idiots espouse the same dumb shit you say, right? The reason why it's important to point out that Italians weren't white until recent is because you idiots use white as if it is an ethnic. It's not ethnic. It's racial. And of course, we're going to call a Hispanic doing some racist shit white supremacy. White supremacy was codified on the Iberian continent with Iberian Christians and Iberian Muslims. Anti-black rhetoric was codified there. So why would we not? This is what I'm saying. When you play that game that these idiots think that you want to play with them, or they try to make you play, then you can fall into these games. All those different ethnicities all fall under your socio-political branch that you use to dominate a society called white, right? And it's the faster that blacks realize that, the better off we'll be. I'm not arguing with a Haitian or a Dominican or a West African, because under the umbrella term in the socio-political conflicts that we have, we would all be black. I'm not arguing and parsing ethnicities.
We can draw from Germany. I mean, we can have like the little pageants, like the award ceremonies where if a woman has 10 kids, we put like a fasces on her, like a little medallion, because like they love those little like pageants and shit. We can have like one of those little like award ceremonies for the women, and then they can go back to baking bread. But yeah,
banana bread. What do they call it in Office Space where they have the flares?
Yeah, we can give them a little like fascist flair. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, they are the most susceptible to the propaganda, which means when like the guys actually step forward, they are going to be the ones fighting tooth and nail. Well, fighting. So it's like it's this kind of realization we have to do this again. Like, if we don't, it's extinction, and it is the natural order. Women naturally respond to masculine men. They are naturally submissive because that's how we've evolved. That's how our psyches have evolved. It's been true for all of history, and now suddenly that's not the case. No, I reject that completely. And so, yeah, this course correction is going to be huge.
Yes.
And again, like we said at the start, the black community has shown time and time again that it is so more hostile to us than we are to them. You know, they don't record ethnicity in the UK purposely because they know once people saw the data, they'd be like, oh shit, we got a problem. Whereas you guys know all well and good. You know, a black guy is 40 times more likely to kill a white guy than the other way
So we're
around.
not even halfway through. Here comes the incel twerp syndrome, playing victim. So justice statistics showing that black people are 40 times more likely to kill white people is not real. Violent crimes in the U.S. is heavily interracial, meaning most white victims are killed by white offenders and most black victims are killed by black offenders. The 40 times statistics are often misrepresented data from an analysis on fatal police shootings, which found that young black males face a 10 to 40 times higher risk of being killed by a police officer compared to young white males. Nothing he said was factually accurate. These people just talk and they say things from a victimhood, identitarian mentality, and they get people to gather around, and they trauma bond based around some type of simulated trauma that they have never experienced, right? They're the best victim complex identitarians in the world. Nothing they said was even accurate, right? But these guys, I'm just showing this is what they're espousing right now. This is what you people stand next to, talking about you a conservative. These positions are not tenable. There's no evidence for them to be the victims. Meanwhile, we've got proof: Memphis Massacre, the New Orleans Massacre, the Hamburg Massacre, Wilmington Massacre, Atlanta race riots, Springfield race riots, Tulsa race riots, Rosewood, Axe Handle Saturday. All evidence when blacks minding their business, doing good business, whites coming over, being jealous, fucking shit up with their barbaric ass culture, right? With their inferiority complex and their incel twerp syndrome, they attacked random black towns that had nothing to do with nothing. But they want you to believe that whites are the victims. Their audience is younger than 25, and they clearly have an IQ lower than 25 if they're eating up this Wignat slop.
Yeah,
that's considering
they classify non-whites as whites,
even when you control for that, it's like multiple
even
times.
when you control for per capita, or even some cases overall raw numbers. And
They're classifying non-whites as whites, even if you control for per capita. Bro, y'all are just saying buzzwords. Nothing that you said had any intelligence.
they're filtering, and it's like, and then the white category encompasses Arabs, white, Hispanics. Nice, contradictory term there. Fuck off. A buddy of mine, actually, a black guy who, all things considered, he recognizes the things that we talk about. He told me that he did an experiment with ChatGPT. He said, give me an example of like a really bad case of a white person who's like a repeat offender who like abused children, got off, abused children, like got a loose sentence and like got away with it. And then ChatGPT provided them a name. He took the name, put it into Google, and it was a fucking black dude. It wasn't a white dude. Like in ChatGPT.
That story was such complete bullshit. The dude couldn't do nothing but laugh. And what are you expressly trying to say? Are you trying to say that white people have been misclassified and somehow blacks are sneaking in under the white label? I know you're not willing to stand on that, not in a debate forum. You sound dumb. America is one of the most strict places when it comes to ethnicity. Have you ever heard of the one drop rule? Even if you looked white, if you had an ancestor that was a Negro 3, 4, 5, 6 generations ago, they wouldn't label you white, dude. Shut up.
GPT said it was a white guy. And so it's like, are they like trying to program us to think that the crime is like, I don't even know. Like, even if you look at just the data, it's bad. But all this other stuff going on, on the peripheral vision, it's not a good
The
look.
only examples that I can actually think of white people repetitively getting away with things are people that were part of the Catholic institution. Precept number 3, religion is a creation of mortals, therefore predestined to fallibility. Religion may preserve or destroy people depending on the structure given by its progenitors, the motives of its agents, and the vagaries of historical circumstance.
There you go. Quick question for you, Lewis, because I want to hear more from you. People will often say, well, you can't advocate for total remigration in the U.S., whereas somebody in Europe has more of a case for it. I think that's bullshit. But one of the things they cite is, well, your demographics are much more complicated. And it's like, well, you can make an argument that it is more complex. But I'd be curious to know, is your relationship to nons similar to the way that it is here? Because people will say, well, the case with blacks in America is more unique. And it's like, well, isn't it kind of the same in Great Britain? Like, you guys had slavery. You guys had black slaves.
And when you think it's just an act, they go in and say some dumb shit like that, let you know this is actually how they think. They're actually this stupid. No, Britain in the U.S. don't have similar demographics. They don't have a similar history as it pertains to chattel slavery in their continent, in their country. So no, bro, that's a simple no. But do you know anything inside your brain other than I'm white and I'm right? Do you know anything? No, British didn't have mass genocide and mass slaughter campaigns of blacks who minded their business and built up their towns. All those massacres I just named off, they were whites attacking black towns because they were mad blacks were prosperous while they were shitty in a southern culture that did not promote good economic values, to say the least. Which is why after the migration, IQ stats favored northern blacks over southern whites.
Have non-white immigrants coming in. Is the racial demographic similar in the UK?
Yeah, like what percentage are blacks, and is there like a resentment, like a reparations kind of resentment there?
The thing is, there was slavery abroad, but by and large there wasn't slavery in England, right? So, but they will still use the same rhetoric in the UK, and they will still come to us with like, oh yeah, we want reparations. Your family, your ancestors actively chose to come to the UK, presumably for a better life, and we welcomed you with open arms. Now you're going to turn around and say that we were the slave traders, we were the colonizers, we were all this.
Oh, so they're not even descendants of slaves.
A West Indian black immigrant to the UK is 100% a descendant of slaves. This is what I'm saying. These guys are stupid. They have no worldview, but yet they're trying to have a world stage conversation, bringing all the other whites together. This is why I don't argue with you blacks that want to spread yourself thin. FBA this, Aboriginal that, Pan-African this. These idiots, they're smart enough to realize they can work across the pond with other whites. Look at what's going on, what's taking place around you while we're sitting in these silos arguing about nothing.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Well, and then like if when BLM was happening, it still came over to the UK. They're tearing down our statues. Like, well, this guy used to be a slave trader, whatever. If we went back to your country and we was to start poking holes in all of your history, I guarantee you your history is worse. I guarantee you had more slave owners in your history, but you come over as a guest and you think that you can rip down our statues? Like, what the fuck is that?
So it's not even about history. It's not even about principles. It's not even about what's true. It's about us versus them. It's about us doing what's best for us versus the evil white people. That's really what it comes down to.
Exactly that. And, we all kind of know this too. I can't go to the UK and go into a black community and be like, hey guys, I know you got issues, right? But you just have to be a bit more kinder. You have to be less violent. I can never do that, right? I'll get stabbed. If you went to America and did that, you'll get shot, right? So we can't fix these problems on an individual level, right? This is a cultural level. This is two cultures.
See, this is doublespeak, because just 3 minutes ago they agreed outside people shouldn't be speaking and talking about nothing. He just went on a whole rant and said, if you find some black guy on Instagram telling you need to get your white women in check, don't listen to him, because they can't tell you shit about white people. So just apply that same logic to you. Why would anybody black except you walking up to them and telling them what they should do amongst themselves? But you won't get stabbed or shot. That's bullshit. This is propaganda, right? Because these little inferiority complex incel twerps need something to rage bait their viewers over. So they got to make up some bullshit. You can't find no statistical data to prove it. Even the stats that they try to use, they misuse them. Nothing that they say is truthful. And that's why they cannot do anything but stay in these little echo chambers. They refuse to have real public dialogues. It doesn't happen. It's all choreographed.
Which have proven time and time again they can't mix well. And the more immigration happens, the worse these issues are going to get, to the point where everyone everyone in our group is going to realize, oh shit, maybe we are different. Maybe we do need to team up, right? That's 100%. Where it's going. And this is why I don't mind being in this group, because as in, I don't mind having an ethno-nationalist stance, because eventually everyone's going to arrive at this location if they have a brain.
Yeah, well said. And thank you for providing insights. You want to know a brutal fucking pill that we have to swallow? Actually, there was a time in history where we were compatible. Do you know when that was? When they were
slaves?
Or even. It wasn't bad. Sometimes one would get loose and rape a white person, and we just, like, if we're just being honest. And then the other ones would behave better.
It's true.
It is true.
The only time it worked is when they were, yeah. What is that?
He said all that for shock value. He's a pussy, bro. So both of these guys, they in my age group, and they're in Orlando, Florida. I'm in St. Augustine, Florida. I would challenge both of them to mutual combat, but they're pussies, right? They can only speak this way in the comfort of their home. They went to school with black people. They used to hang around black people, probably up until 2 or 3 years ago. These people were radicalized by the algorithms. I'm going to prove it, but I'm also going to demonstrate, I'm going to show you just what happens when cognitive bias develops into incel twerp syndrome. This is not new. This always happens. But you see how he's circling back to Jim Crow, circling back to slavery, saying that's the only time it worked. No, that's the only time you were not having to compete. So yes, you would like that. You would like that very much, to where a black person can't get the same job as you because you're automatically over them. That's called laziness. That's called you're a mediocre white guy. Right? When we did split off and go our own ways, you niggas did the Tulsa race wars. You niggas did Oconee race wars. You niggas did Rosewood race wars. You did the Wilmington massacre for black people just using their right to vote and holding office. You were upset that blacks were running the Republicans in Wilmington, North Carolina. So you staged an attack like some vicious, like some vicious dogs, right? You are the ones who cannot assimilate into American culture, right? You guys are the ones who cannot assimilate into American culture. But let's hear a little bit more of this bullshit, and I'm going to wrap it up. I just want to let this be known. This is the right wing, and all you black conservatives, all you MAGAs, this is who you stand next to. And you wonder why black people that talk to you, they don't even listen. Once we understand you're over there with them and you're not addressing none of this rhetoric, but you just clapping for butter biscuits, we don't respect you, G.
Tell you, it's like, man, this isn't going to work. I mean, it's not going to work.
Exactly. And it's not like we have to go back to like slavery days. I know you guys aren't saying that, but it's like,
I mean,
we
no,
can't.
It wouldn't be, yeah, I mean.
No, it's too messy. We can just do it ourselves this time.
Exactly. We can rely on ourselves. We've proven time and time again. It's not even like we have to do this global conquest. We just want our homelands back. That's what we're
Whites
saying.
did abolish slavery, by the way, while Jews tried to keep it. Like the Confederacy was very much Jewish, by the way.
Exactly. Their number 2 guy, Levy, whatever his name was. Was it Levy or?
I forget. I remember one of the guys I just learned about. I forget his name. It was like Brian something. They wanted to make like the Confederate flag. They wanted to make it like a cross. But he said that would be too anti-Semitic, so they made it an X.
Right.
He was like a leading figure in the Confederate Army who was trying to like keep slavery around because they were disproportionately responsible for the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. It was white people too. Right.
And we're all kind of becoming aware of that.
You're not all becoming aware of that. This is not some great big awakening. This is the algorithm. You guys are being pushed in this direction. You wignat idiots. These are the low IQ zealots that I speak of. These people believe that skin color denotates IQ. Yet and still, they have no idea the annals of history that they are misquoting. They're standing on the shoulders of pseudo-zealot intellectuals of the time. Nobody from back then who said and espoused this idiot shit you're saying could say it today with any verifiable evidence. There's no verifiable evidence that IQ is mapped to race. None whatsoever. And furthermore, the lowest IQs are the ethno-nationalists. You have to be an idiot to think that your skin complexion makes you superior just simply based on your genetic stock. You have to be an idiot. And the people who consume this Wignat slop, they're just as dumb. But it's not their fault. Their IQ can be raised, but they must distance themselves from the misinformation. Long as you're consuming misinformation, you're gonna be a misinformation thought. And that's what you white Wignats are. And you black conservatives. You niggas and crackers are thoughts for misinformation. You just run from panel to panel, channel to channel, looking for your misinformation fix. You're a prostitute. You're a misinformation prostitute. But this your boy Luck, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I'm staying swift to keep from getting swift. I'm finna get up out of here, man.
Thanks for the slap, Ali. I prove it to myself before I prove that shit to you. I was out here thugging, I was supposed to be the one that stayed at school. Got kicked out campus, dorm got searched. They think I robbed the bank. Got me feeling like Tim, cause I swear this shit done came the harder way. He swear he pee, but he only gon' fuck cause that boy got a car and a chain. He wanna hate the player, but he really know he need to hate the game. I was taking trips to the left coast with the bows and trying to make a name. I thought I was on the right path till the troll got behind me and hit the lights. Pack touchdown in Gainesville like I'm Percy, telling me that I'm more handsome in person. I been found my purpose, can't pop me no perky. I tapped in some shit you can't reach it like cursive. I'm tapping some shit you can't see to believe in.